Uruma Shun is the main character of the dark revenge manga Juujika no Rokunin, often translated as Cross of the Cross, a boy whose life is shattered by extreme bullying and the murder of his family. Traumatized and reshaped by brutal training under his grandfather, a former soldier, Shun grows into a cold, methodical figure driven almost entirely by vengeance. Rather than seeking justice through normal means, he meticulously hunts down those responsible for his suffering, using psychological and physical tactics that mirror the cruelty inflicted on him, which raises constant questions about morality, trauma, and whether he is becoming just as monstrous as his enemies. Let's see how he can achieve his physique, strength, combat style, and athleticism. So first of all, his physique and strength. His upper body is incredibly aesthetic. Low body fat, small waist, defined muscles, great back and shoulders, good pecs and abs, and good arms. He's in the average range for muscle mass, but not for strength. I mean, he uprooted a tree and made someone twice his mass fly. So in my opinion, this is more of a strength-focused physique than hypertrophy. So we will focus on more strength than mass. For this, we will do more compound movements and less isolation, and we will try to achieve an aesthetic look. Okay, let's talk about combat style. We can't really define one singular style for Uruma because he uses every trick in the book. His grandfather, who was a military man, taught him how he used to train, so more of a survival and calculated violence kind of style. We can name a few you could use: Judo, Krav Maga, Sistema, Karate, Wing Chun, and honestly, anything lethal. Moving on to athleticism. In 7 volumes we didn't see much athleticism, but we've seen a flashback with his grandfather, training him, and since it's a kind of a military training, you need to know everything to survive. We've seen him being fast multiple times, but that's it. Still, we will do like always plyometrics to gain explosiveness and speed. We will dedicate a whole day to plyometrics. In 7 volumes, we haven't seen Uruma doing long runs or training for endurance, so we cannot say if he has endurance or not. One thing we can say is that he is flexible. Having full control over his joints isn't possible if you aren't flexible. So we will be stretching for that, and because it can help us avoid injuries, it will give us more range of motion and will help with the recovery. Great, now we have everything. Let's take a look at the workout plan. So we will have 2 full body days, one upper and one day dedicated for plyometrics. You'll find the following structure: the exercise, the number of sets times the number of reps. For the legs it will be 2 sets to absolute failure, and for the other exercises only 1, because we will work one muscle group multiple times in a week. 1 set to failure repeated multiple times in a week is actually better than 1 working day where you do 3 to 4 sets to failure. Also, I always say it because some people need to understand that the nervous system recovers more slowly than the muscular system. So that's why I recommend taking a full day off between workouts. Now, for the number of reps, we have 5 to 6, 7 to 8, 9 to 10 and max. The 5 to 6 will be an all-in for strength with a bit of hypertrophy. The 7 to 8 is the sweet spot for hypertrophy and strength in my opinion. 9 to 10 is an all-in for mass with a bit of strength, and finally max will be the maximum amount of reps or seconds. Let's begin. Full body 1. We will start with Romanian deadlifts. This will engage the posterior chain, absolutely vital for any training and well-being. This will especially target the hamstrings and glutes. Next we have weighted chin-ups. Chin-ups are better than pull-ups for back width, in my opinion. This exercise will give us back and biceps mass and strength. Be careful here to not ego lift. If you mess up, you can tear your biceps. After that, we have weighted dips. Just like the chin-ups, I strongly stand by the fact that the dips are better than bench press for strength and mass. This will give us pecs, triceps and front delts mass and strength. If you can do them on the rings, it will be better since you need to stabilize yourself even more. After, we have lateral raises. You can either do them with the cables or with the dumbbells. This will give mass to the shoulders to obtain the nice round shoulders we want. And finally, reverse flies. You can do them on the machine or with cables. This will bring mass to the shoulders and definition in the mid-back. Moving on to full body 2, starting with squats. Squats will give overall leg strength with a touch of muscle mass. This will especially engage the quadriceps and glutes. Do the squats with the free barbell or on the Smith machine. Next we have bent over barbell rows. This will give us the back thickness and strength we want. This will especially target the mid-back. After that we have inclined bench press. If you have a big rib cage, set the bench at an angle of 45 degrees. And if you have a normal rib cage, set it at around 30 degrees. This will target the upper portion of the pecs and front delts, giving us a nice and aesthetic look. This will also give us strength. After that we have once again lateral raises for shoulder mass, and finally we have dumbbell shoulder press. This will give strength and mass to the shoulders and give us punching and pushing strength. Now let's do the upper day. It is basically the same as full body 1, except that we don't have the Romanian deadlifts, but at the end we have shrugs. So first of all, weighted chin-ups for back and biceps mass and strength. Next we have weighted dips for pecs, triceps and front delts mass and strength. After that we have lateral raises for shoulders mass. Next we have reverse flies for mid-back definition and shoulder mass. And finally shrugs for traps mass. This exercise will give a fuller look to your physique, making it more aesthetic. And last but not least, plyometrics day. So I have as always my go-to for plyometrics day: box, broad, hurdle jumps and lateral bounds. Box jumps will give you vertical explosiveness and speed. Broad jumps will give you horizontal explosiveness and speed and can even help with sprints. Hurdle jumps is a mix between horizontal and vertical explosiveness. And lateral bounds are an excellent exercise if you want to have fast and sharp movements. These will help you change directions fast. Finally, we have hollow body hold. This exercise is vital for core strengthening and is non-negotiable for the strength training and combat training. This will not bulk up your abs, but will definitely create some definition in those abs. Hold the position as much as possible. Little note here for the workouts. There is no isolation for the biceps and triceps, simply because the chin-ups and dips are all we need. Uruma doesn't necessarily have big arms. I think that with only chin-ups and dips, we will obtain something similar. For the plyometrics, the maximum amount of reps usually sits around 6 reps. But if you feel that you are still explosive after those 6 reps, keep going until you are no longer explosive. Now with all of this, there are some things you should know and apply. First, always warm up before an exercise and give yourself 2 warm-up sets. Have a proper execution for every exercise and give yourself 2 to 3 minutes of rest between every set. And that is the warm-up sets too. After every workout, do 10 minutes of light cardio. Our focus here will not be endurance, but to get lean like him. We will not overdo it though, because we have the military training who will help burn calories. Speaking of it, I recommend doing the military training every workout day, whenever you can. Do it for 30 to 45 minutes and focus on technique, then speed and only at the end, the strength. Try practicing judo, karate, krav maga, sistema, wing chun or basically anything more survival related. On every rest day, stretch for about 30 minutes and please keep the rest days rest days. Your body needs at least 1 full day of recovery between workouts. So 1 day on, 1 day off it is. If you can't do this, do 1 day on, 2 days off. It could be even better. It depends on your recovery ability and a lot of factors. To get lean and aesthetic like him, you'll need to be around 10% body fat. It isn't quite sustainable, but this is his physique. Since it's not that sustainable, you can, if you want, be at around 11 or 12% body fat. You'll be healthier, but you'll lose some definition. So for this, you'll need to know your BMR and TDEE. Once you know them, you'll need to figure out if you need to be on a bulk, cut or maintenance. Let's say you want 11% body fat. If you are above 11% body fat, be on a caloric deficit. If you are under 11% body fat, be on a caloric surplus. And if you are at 11% body fat, be on a caloric maintenance or slight surplus to equilibrate with the mass gained. I made 2 videos about nutrition. The first one talks about the foundations of nutrition, macronutrients and micronutrients. The second one talks about the gut-brain axis, the link between your gastrointestinal tract and your brain. If you want to know more things about your muscular system, check out my video on the matter. And finally, if you want to see other physiques breakdown, check out the playlist up here. Ladies and gentlemen, that was everything I had to say. If you want another physique on here, let me know it in the comments. If you enjoyed, let me know it in the comments too. And we will meet next time for some other video. And like always, take care.